Hey, MOMnation. Welcome to our From the Heart podcast, where we share inspirational stories, useful information, and we discuss a wide variety of women-related topics. While you're listening to this episode on your favorite podcast platform, please subscribe to our channel and rate us so that we can get this information out to the moms that need to hear it. If you'd like to join the conversation, we are at MOMnation USA. That's our handle on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. We hope you enjoy the show. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of From the Heart, where we speak with inspirational women that do inspirational things. And we have just that today. Veronica, I am thrilled. I am honored. I am so excited to talk to you today. You are with the American Cancer Society. Can you give us a little bit of background on what you do and how you do it? I know that you're out there helping people.
Yes. Thank you. Thanks for the introduction. My name is Veronica Venturini. I'm the Associate Director for Cancer Center Partnerships here in Arizona. I've been with ACS for about almost 7 years, which has been really cool. Yeah, just doing a lot of really great work. And of course, there's so much needed out in the community. But what I focus on primarily is working with all of our health systems and our cancer centers in the state of Arizona, in addition to like our state health department and our cancer coalitions. And so all those entities that actually work on cancer prevention, early detection, and screening. And so what we do is we go in and actually work with the healthcare professionals and do a lot of training, technical assistance and support, and really just help them sort of build their awareness campaigns and tools around all different types of cancer prevention topics.
Amazing. And thank you so much for doing that, and for doing that, for those out there that are going through this and are dealing with this disease and their family members and all of that. I think what you guys do over at the American Cancer Society is just unbelievable. And we've been learning a lot about it this month because this is Cancer Prevention Awareness Month. And you are actually part 4 in our 4-part series talking about cancer prevention, talking about getting screened, talking about encouraging our family members and our loved ones to do the same. And now you and I are both mamas. Our kids are approximately the same age. So we know that there are so many things that we have to think about as moms, but something came onto the scene, I want to say not too long ago, that is an additional thing that we need to be considering in terms of cancer prevention, and that is HPV. Can you dive into that a little bit and explain to our followers and our viewers just what that is?
Sure. So HPV stands for human papillomavirus. And without really getting into the weeds, the clinical weeds of it, because it could get a little bit complicated, it's really just a very, very, very common virus that causes 6 types of cancer. It's just really devastating in our community, and especially because due to COVID, folks, we were delayed in getting vaccination for it. So, and getting those vaccines out. So, it's extremely, extremely common. We have more than 35,000 men and women every year diagnosed with a cancer caused by HPV, and about 8 out of 10 will actually get HPV at some point in their lifetime. So, the statistics are there. And, we have a vaccine that can actually, it's 90% accuracy in terms of helping prevent those 6 types of cancers.
That's unbelievable. And in terms of helping out your child and, doing your best that you can with what you have available, with what options that you have available, it's kind of a daunting task for parents, right? To think about all of these things and to be on top of all of these things. So from your words, why should a parent consider this for their child?
Well, as a parent, I'm a mom of two girls, two teens. Um, and I'm actually a single mom, single working mom of two teens. And you're basically, you have a to-do list, right? And you're so focused on so many different things, right? For you, not just for yourself, but for your kids.
Hmm.
So, we're always looking for, what can we do? There's so many options, there's so many things out there. What can we do? What is all that we can do to protect our children, right? And so we know that HPV vaccination is just one way, right, to protect our children's health. So it's effective, it's safe, it's proven. Why wouldn't you, as a parent, choose that option? To prevent, again, it's cancer prevention, and it prevents 6 different types of cancers. We don't have anything like that with any of the other cancers that we focus on, right? We don't have anything like that for colorectal. We don't have anything like that for breast, lung, you name it. So this is the preventable, this is one vaccine that can actually prevent those 6 types of cancers. So, to me, it's a no-brainer, so.
Hmm. So for you as a mom, can you walk us through that decision-making process for your own personal family?
Sure. Well, I'm in the field of public health.
Hmm.
And I
Yeah,
work for the American Cancer Society, so I may not be the average, right, mom
right.
out there. And so I'm very well educated and aware. I'm sort of like, obviously deep in this environment. But to be honest with you, your pediatrician should be your first go-to, and so and I understand that there are questions. There's maybe, some parents that, are thinking twice about it, and there's a lot of myths and misconceptions out there, but it's, what I would recommend is the best thing to do is just to talk to your provider about it.
Hmm.
And just ask the questions, ask all of your questions. They're your best source of information, of course, right? And typically parents have a good relationship with their pediatrician or their family
Hmm.
practice doc. So, there's that trust and that, relationship there that can ease, parents' concerns.
I love that answer. And I don't think that there's any substitute for speaking with your pediatrician, but do you have any suggestions for other ways, other resources that moms and parents can access to gain more knowledge, to get more educated on this topic?
Absolutely. There's a lot, but of course I'm gonna say come to the American Cancer Society.
Yeah.
If you go to our website, we have just go on our HPV page. I think we have a live chat on there as well. There's probably overwhelming information on our website, but again, we're the trusted source of cancer prevention, and education resources. We also have, another good source I would say would be the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Hmm.
We do a lot of work with them, and they have, again, plethora of information as well. Um, I would, probably say like my first two the go-tos would be those two organizations, but of course there are local organizations too that folks can go to. Our state immunization coalition also has a lot of information. Our state health department also has a lot of online information, and we all kind of tag team and work together in the community. And so any of those would be really trusted sources.
And I understand that there's been quite a bit of research done. So there's quite a bit of data on this and on this particular option. It's not like it just hit the market willy-nilly and was just new to the market and away we go. Can you speak a little bit to the research, the data, that kind of thing?
Sure. Just super high level because that's definitely not my expertise. But
Sure.
the vaccine has been around since 2006. It's
Hmm.
been around, and that's a lot. Like a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah,
Unless
almost
you
20
work,
years.
Yeah, right. If you're in the field, obviously you do, but if, the average person doesn't know that. So it's been around for a very long time. It's been tested, it's been researched, it's been studied a lot. So, parents, I mean, I've got my girls vaccinated. I just, um, there really are no safety concerns that would be alarming to a parent. And again, that's definitely not my expertise, but there's plenty of research. I mean, you can look this information up like on our website and all those resources I mentioned earlier. But it's definitely like been very studied, very researched. So and again, it's a lot of people do, as I'm doing training and education out there, they're like, oh, it's a new vaccine. And it's not a new vaccine. It's been around
Right.
for a very long time. And so that in and of itself, is somewhat reassuring,
Yeah,
because it's not something that was just developed, from scratch yesterday, so to speak.
for sure. And I think that that's important to get that message out there because I think that that promotes comfort for parents that are considering this option to know that it's not just something new to the scene.
Right.
What age should your child get this? Like, tell me about that.
Sure. So the recommendation is for kids between 9 and 12 to
Okay.
be vaccinated. And the reason being is because at that age, adolescent age, is where your body has their immune system is the strongest. And so, they're able to really develop those antibodies that the vaccine provides to be able to protect the body from being exposed to it if they were exposed to it down the road. So age really starting the series at 9
Mhm.
is the what's best recommended, but anywhere between 9 and 12.
And you mentioned it's a series, so it's multiple injections, or how does that
Yeah.
work?
Yes. So it's a series of two between, and it really just depends. And again, this is what I would recommend is to have that conversation with their provider, with folks,
Mhm.
with providers, right? Your pediatricians. But for the most part, if you start, it really depends on when you started between 9 and 12, but it's basically a two shots. So starting at 9, and then it would be in the following year, you would get the second one. So again, it just really varies on when the second one would be provided, depending on when they would start the first one, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. So again, conversation with your
All right.
pediatrician, that's going to be the best resource. Sounds like you guys have a lot of information, a lot of resources that are available to the public on your website through the things that you do. And I actually have those links here in the show notes. So they're very easily accessible to our followers here. Anything else as far as this option that we haven't gone over that you'd like to share?
No, I think it's always best because I do a lot of training and education out there. And I just think it's always best to just keep it like very brief to the point, right? And I think we hit the main topics. I think what I would really recommend parents is that if you do have questions or concerns, or you hear, different things out there about HPV, about the vaccine, just please just do your due diligence and talk about it. Ask, I mean, the best recommendation is really from the provider, from that pediatrician or that family practitioner. I just really encourage, folks not to just, turn away from it, but really, ask the questions and get those get those answers, because it really is the best prevention for 6 types of cancers. I mean, think about it, 6,
Yeah,
and
that's huge.
so I again like just and just and really be careful where you get your information from too,
Hmm.
and that's I think important because nowadays, right, there social media, Google, everything
Yeah,
under the
who
sun. There's
knows?
so much information out there. And you just don't know if a lot of it's trustworthy or not. So
I think that is huge advice. Do your own research and make sure those resources are trustworthy resources, right? Bottom line.
Exactly, right.
And I think that makes sense with a lot of things that we deal with as moms and a lot of things that or as parents that we have to decide and go through and be on top of for our kids' well-being. So I think that's a pretty good advice across the board.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, thank you again, Veronica, for being with us. You are truly inspirational. I appreciate you sharing this information, sharing a bit about the research behind it, sharing that it is an option to parents out there. And of course, it's very, very fitting this month because it is Cancer Prevention Awareness Month. If you guys would like to check out any of our previous videos, our From the Hearts or our Live and Learns, where again, this month we are doing a series on cancer prevention, hop over to our YouTube channel. It is at MOMnation USA. That is our handle. If you prefer to listen in your ears, maybe you're doing the cancer prevention by getting out there and hiking or getting out there and doing a speed walk around the neighborhood or walking the dog, whatever it is that you do to get that heart pumping, then hop on over to your favorite podcast platform, do a quick search for MOMnation Talk Radio, and there you will be able to connect with all of our episodes, not only this 4-part series, but everything else that we have out there for you mamas and parents. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time.